One thing that I struggled a lot with when I moved to Germany, not only the language, but also to grasp everything around insurance. And this is why I'm super happy to partner up and have Feather sponsor this episode. They have an English service and they have very good prices, which is exactly the reason why I chose them. For me, for liability, and for my dog. I chose Feather for 3 main reasons, but they also had online service completely in English and 0 paperwork. They are super flexible and modern, so it's very easy. As life changes, you can just add on extra plans or change them or tweak them. So for example, when I got Minx, my dog, it was super easy to just add her to the insurance plan. And the third reason is that their customer support is super easy and reliable. So whenever I did not understand anything about what I needed and what was the best alternative for me, they were there helping to guide me. So if you'd like to have a look or sign up for any of Feather's insurances, go to featherinsurance.com and use the code PLAYFUL1 in caps lock to get a €15 cashback.
Welcome to Playful Podcast, your guide into the underground scene where we discover topics on kink and electronic music every week. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on our next episode.
Jennifer Whitshore, better known as DJ Minx, has been DJing for 3 decades and was named one of the 20 women who shaped the history of dance music by Mixmag, as well as Best House Music DJs of all time by TimeOut. As you can hear, we have with us an absolute legend today, and in this episode we're speaking about her story and challenges she faced being a woman when starting DJing 3 decades ago, Detroit back when the whole scene was created until today, and if the growth and commercialization is affecting her. The support system she found, what it meant to her, and creating her own collective and record label, Women on Wax. Let's get to it. I am Amanda, and this is Playful Podcast. Jennifer, we are so excited to have you, DJ Minx, in Playful Podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
Such a big honor.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna get to know you and your history more. And starting out, what are 3 words that you would use to describe yourself?
3 words. Let's see. Determined. Shy. Thankful.
Okay. Shy. Are you... I didn't feel that you were shy at all coming here.
No one does. That's good.
You can hide it.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, wow.
But I am, totally. Not as bad as I used to be, though.
No?
No, not as bad. I still am, but I am able to control it so it's not seen. Because then sometimes when I'm in certain situations or whatever, when it's over, it's like, oh, whoa, okay.
That was a lot. I get that. I'm not shy, but I also get that from social situations. That I'm like, oof, I need to stare up at the ceiling a couple of hours now.
Yes.
But
breathe.
Yeah. But what is that like then when you meet so many new people all the time in the career you got and everything?
It's not like once I'm in the element, I'm okay because I'm in it and I'm there, and at that point you have to either perform or speak or communicate, so you can't shut down, and it's not a good idea. So I just do what needs to be done.
Yeah. All right. Determination comes in.
Yes. Definitely. Yeah.
But who are you back in school when you were like a teenager?
That's the shyness right there. So I was very introverted and very quiet with the shyness. So I wasn't outgoing at all.
No?
Not at all. I was very quiet. I was a bookworm.
Yeah. Like, okay, well behaved.
Yes, very. Oh, it's so angelic. Can you see the halo above my head?
Wow.
I was a good girl. My mom will tell you. Well, she would. She passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you. But she would tell you that, like, she was able to speak on me actually being a good girl. Like everyone else would get in trouble, but not me.
Did you ever challenge that though?
I did a couple of times.
later when you grew up, or?
Yeah, later. I did later when I got a little older. Still a teenager though.
All right.
Yeah.
But if we stay in this younger you a bit, start there. What did your musical journey look like from back then to now?
So back on the home front, my parents, we had a gas station, so like a few of them. It was called Boron. And so on the weekends, we would go to work with the family. Everyone would go to work, and we would actually be working. But in the evenings at home was the time to release. And that's when the music came on. And my parents always played music on the record player, vinyl 45s.
What kind of music?
Al Green, soul, black soul music.
Nice.
Isaac Hayes, the Isley Brothers, music like that. Betty Wright. And to this day, I love that music.
Yeah.
And to this day, now we have remixes of it, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Do you feel that it's some kind of like, brings some kind of security feeling? This kind of music? You know, sometimes the memories from the childhood just...
And that's the reason why I play a lot of it, because of that feeling that I get, that I can experience within myself, my parents, and family again.
Did you also sing back then?
To myself, because I sounded horrible. But that's okay.
That is okay, yes.
I'm older now, and I still sound horrible. And it's okay. It's quite all right.
I love that. Did you play any instruments?
When I was younger, I played violin.
Violin?
In
Beautiful.
school, yeah. I learned it in school. I didn't keep up with it, so I don't know how to, play it now. But
No.
yeah, I did.
Aye, amazing. And I mean, just looking back and all that has been happening within the scene and is going on right now, just us telling you that we got into this genre 6 years ago, and you've been in it as a DJ 3 decades. And I don't know how even the introduction looked like to you or anything, but I'm very curious to know.
The introduction was a little shaky because the music used to be on the radio at home, and I would turn away immediately because I didn't care for it. It was just loud and obnoxious to me, and that's techno. So kind of techno and house at that time, I didn't know the difference in the two of them. I just know that when the music was on the radio, it was annoying until we went to a club that only played that music, and I was in love. And I think I fell in love because of the crowd, the gathering of all the people as though they didn't care about anything and just danced like it was the last day they ever had to be alive. I mean, that was the most phenomenal view, to get to the Music Institute and see these people dancing. Because outside of the club, I can hear the music, and I was like, that's that same music, but I don't care because there's a line to get in, and we need to get in as well. That was my introduction. And it was fierce because I never looked back. The music that I used to hear back in the day, I listened to it, blah, blah, blah. Listened to the Electrifying Mojo, and he played a part of that. That's a gentleman on the radio on WGPR. And he used to play the music as well, but he played separate tracks. He would put a track on, take it off. It wasn't a continuous mix. No. So I was able to tell what music was what. But going to the club and seeing everyone dancing together was just absolutely beautiful.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're gonna soon speak a little bit more about when you decided to start DJing yourself. But first, there's so much, I think people on social media speak a lot. Like also we said the scene is growing a lot. Many people are not maybe very interested about where the music comes from or the history and roots. They just go to the club and enjoy. But if we look at social media, there are also discussions going on about where it comes from. Is it from Frankfurt, some people say, you know? And then, of course, most people speak about Detroit. But could you tell us a little bit about what that, like the history, not a deep history lesson, but like how it was like back 3-4 decades ago in Detroit and what happened there, and also what that kind of means to you in your musical creation right now?
Well, first, let me say that, of course, there's a question about where the music came from. We need to look at disco and the days of disco at Studio 54 in New York. I'm sure disco was everywhere, but that was a pivotal spot for disco. From disco, when it began to fade, came house music from cats in Chicago, Jesse Saunders and the like. In Detroit, Juan Atkins was in love with Kraftwerk, and he created techno. And I have the story verbatim from Kevin Saunderson, who's like my big brother. And he said they were in college. Derek, Kevin, Juan were in college. And Juan kept talking to them about this music he was working on. And he's like, what are you talking about, man? He said, this is some music, man, and I want to call it techno. And he says, techno? Man, he's like, well, what is it? He said that he was showing them the elements that he used to make tracks. And Kevin said, and he was just like, fuck it, we're going to get into this. And they started working on these tracks together while they were in their college years.
What year is it? What year?
I don't know the exact year.
But like 85 or...
Yeah, around that time.
Yeah.
Yep. It was around that time, around 85, 87, maybe 86. But it was around that time. Yeah, and he said, and they got into it, and he said he had absolutely no idea that it would grow to be what it was.
Imagine, I don't know if it works like this, but if you would take patent on the word.
Patent word. Yep.
Are these regrets?
Oh man, because there's so many different techno subcategories now.
Yes.
I can't keep up.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your view on the fast pace? Like that is going like 160 or.
Oh man, come on, we out of there. Come on, that's just too. People have their preferences, but for me, I like the created techno that came out of Detroit. The harder techno, of course, we've got the 160 BPMs, but we've also got tracks that are 130 BPM that are techno that you can speed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be created that fast, or you can slow it down.
Yeah.
Because I have some tracks that are very, very fast like that I can play slower, and it'll go smooth into a set, and you just never know. So there are different styles of techno, and there's also Detroit techno, where the history came from. So that's where my heart is. Because without it, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I wouldn't be here right now.
Exact. And you are still, you're still living there? Are you living in your hometown?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that? How come you stay there?
No, I don't know. So many people ask me that. My manager, he's gonna see this. He says, "You're gonna go to L.A. Come on out to L.A." I cannot find it within myself to leave.
No.
I cannot.
No.
No, I have daughters there. I have family there. We talked about leaving and wouldn't know where to go, but when? Not right now. Of course, it's just home. It's so much history there.
Yeah.
It's hard to. It's hard. So if we left and went out west, where we had talked about going, then we would be flying a lot of people out to see us. Whereas we can just be at home and you can just drive over. It's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get that. You also travel a lot with work.
Yeah.
So it's not that you're not seeing the world, really. But if we go back then to what year? Like 2000? 2000 something, early. Did you when you made the decision to become a DJ? What did that decision look like, and the choice?
I started trying to be a DJ in like 1988, 89.
Oh, okay.
So you're probably thinking about Women on Wax or the label.
Ah, the label has been for 3 decades.
That's what you need to know. The label has not been 3 decades. Me DJing has been.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Now I am with you. Okay.
So the DJing, making me want to DJ. I saw a DJ at the club spinning, and I was interested in doing it. And my friend bought turntables for me and a mixer and gave me 2 records and told me to mix the records and left my apartment. That was it, cut and dry. And I practiced mixing those tracks day in and out. And Jerry, my mentor, said, just make it sound like one track. You know how it sounds when you go in the club? Do that. I'm like, what are you talking about? I can't do that. Yes, you can. And he kept telling me, yes, you can. I'm going, Jerry, I can't. I mean, I would call him, and he's like, did you mix those tracks? I'm like, no. Call me when you mix them. Jerry, damn. Can I, hello, did you mix the tracks? No, and he wouldn't take a call. It was crazy. And I finally learned to mix the tracks.
Oh, amazing.
He was like, oh, I'll be there in a minute. And he brought 2 more records, mix these, and he left.
Oh, love that spirit.
I mixed them, no problem. Any track you gave me, it was on. That's when it started. I was like, oh. But again, shyness. I didn't want anybody to know I was a DJ, so I didn't speak on it.
And did you know any female DJs?
I knew of Stacy Hot Wax Hill, who was on FM 98. She was one of the ones playing the music that I couldn't stand to listen to. And it was also the Wizard, Jeff Mills. He was on there. So she and Jeff did shows on the radio.
Yeah.
And I also knew about Kay Hand, rest her soul. But those were the only 2 at that time that I knew about.
And how was it received, like in this very male-dominated field back then? That you were taking up some space?
The male-dominated field was, it wasn't received well at all. It sucked, actually, if I can be frank.
Yeah, you can.
So I'm frank right now. It was rough. And there was a lot of judging in the way of, you gotta be kidding me, you're a DJ? And yeah. And I started questioning myself, like, what am I? In the beginning, there was Jack. I had to say that part. Do you know about that song?
No.
Okay, that's, oh, damn, fail. Somebody watching it will.
Yes, they will.
But in the beginning,
I am really bad with names. Like
no. It's a track that goes in the beginning. There was Jack, and Jack had a groove. It's like a spoken word track.
Okay,
from
amazing.
Chicago. Yeah. In the beginning days, I just felt like it was a place where, you know, listening to them talk, I was like, maybe this isn't a space for me. And so maybe I should just stop. trying. Because I'd always have like dress and heels and pearls and big hair and all this just glam. And oh my gosh, it was so funny to people.
Yeah, like
are
you don't have a place
serious?
here.
Yeah.
That kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. This is something that is still going on today. That people are supposed to dress in a certain way to be okay in the club. Like what are you wearing? You're in this club, right?
When you should be able to wear whatever the hell you want to wear.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be like that.
No.
So I dealt with a lot from a lot of people. A lot of women it was really funny to women. Like, are you serious? The support was low. I didn't really get support. And it was very deterring. But my mentor that I spoke of, Jerry, he kept pushing me. No, you're going to do this and you're going to be good. And I think these people are bothered by the fact that you're good. They're threatened. And don't be concerned about what they feel. And I was listening to him in one ear, but the people in the negative ear were winning because there was so many of them. It was so many people that told me that this was something that I should not be trying to do. It's a man's world.
Yeah.
So, okay, I started listening to Jerry and I said, do you want me to play or not? Like speaking to a promoter, like, I'd like for you to play, but I don't know. Okay, do you want me to play or not? Well, yeah, you can play for a little while and then you'll be doing it for free. Okay, so you don't want me to play. Because I'm not doing anything for free.
Wow, you already had that with you back then.
Yeah, because it was at first I did the first couple, because I want to be exposed. But then I started getting confident. Like, no, are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, let me know when you're ready to pay me. And this particular guy, oh my gosh, he called me right back for the next week. It's like, can you play and then I'll pay you? Oh yeah, sure. I'll be there. What time? What day and what time? And that's when it started. Jerry and I also started a place called the Skyloft Gallery. Mm-hmm. There is a clothing designer named Maurice Malone. He used to own the building. And we bought it from him. And we made the Skyloft Gallery an art gallery and a club. So we started having guest DJs every week. And that's when I really got exposure because at my own spot, people came to party with us. We had people play like Mike Huckabee, Jeff Mills, Mike Clark. A lot of DJs, local DJs would come and play for us. And I would play. And I was the only girl.
Wow.
And when I played, my gosh, all the dancing stopped. And they were just looking and not moving because they were just looking at me in awe. Like, is this a girl playing records? Yes, it was. Wow. And I would just mix and they would be looking at my fingers and wow, and then they would finally start dancing. So, because when I picked up the mixing, I picked it up and it just ran with it. It just became easier and smoother.
Yeah.
It wasn't real difficult playing on vinyl. So that's when the exposure really started. But outside of my own club, it was this, still this negativity and people, just like, are you really a woman or are you a man? You play like a man. Until one day someone said, you play like you have a dick. I said, what? Are you serious?
Like brave or what does that mean? Like I'm just thinking of all these words, Do you need to take it?
Yes. You know why?
No.
Because this is my wife. And she doesn't know I'm doing an interview.
Hello.
I'm sorry. It's okay, honey. It's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry. It's okay. I'll call you back, okay? Okay, bye.
I love that.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's so
God.
sweet though. Like the only one who can interrupt into it's the wife.
That's the
perfectly
only one.
Normal.
But the fact that Minx heard the phone ring and you came out here Oh, that's so telling. Just like, I'll answer it.
I'll take it.
I'll get the call for you. Girl, because hi, honey. Yes, girl, yes.
How long have you been married?
For almost 2 years.
Oh, wow. And she lives in Detroit too. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yes.
Amazing. How did you... Oh, wait.
I'll get there.
Sorry.
We have now come to the part of the podcast where if you are or want to become a Patreon, you'll also get to listen to the extra material where DJ Minx shares her view on how to attain work-life balance, as well as speaking about what she wishes to change and preserve in the scene at large. Go to patreon.com/playfulmagazine.
Okay.
This is me getting out of character.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's so funny the way we met. That really doesn't need to be on camera. It's
No,
crazy.
exactly. That's why I was like, I was like, now I'm just going into my side where I'm like having a drink with my friend, you know? They're like, wait, Wanda, wake up.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh yeah. Oh no, wait. Why did I turn it off? I don't want to turn it off.
Turn it off.
There we go. No, okay. So from all these opinions about you taking up space in the scene to you deciding to start a collective, Women on Wax,
Yes.
that later turned also record label. What did that decision look like to start that? And what also, another question that I wrap in, is that I'm very curious to know about like in what way it was needed back then and what need you see for it today. Because a lot of people are like, yeah, the scene is equal right now, you know?
Okay, so I started the label first because of Moody Man. He would come to see me play at clubs, and then he, at the end of the set one night, he asked me if I was ready to start my label. And I told him, no. What are you talking about? No. Yes, you are. No. So what am I going to do with a label? He said, you need to put your music out because that's the next step after DJing the way you do. And I thought, okay. So he asked for give me one of your albums. He took a record, wrote on magic marker, just what he wanted me to do. He said, I need you to produce me 4 tracks.
Oh.
I'm going to have them pressed at Archer. He said, after you let me listen to them, I'm going to have them pressed and do your distribution, and I'm going to do your first 4 releases like that because you need a label. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I told him, I don't know how to produce music. And he said, yes, you know how to play music, you know how to produce it. He said, make the kind of music that you hear, that you play out. That's what he said, make that kind of music. He said, you can do it, just call me next week. What?
Oh.
Next week? You want me to have 4 tracks done? Okay. No. So I called him when I got done with 4 tracks, and I think it was a couple weeks later. And he said, oh, okay, these sound good. I'm going to get these pressed, and I'll let you know next steps. Work on your next 4 tracks. So that's how the label started. He supported me in putting out my first 4 releases, and I'm just amazingly grateful.
They were out. The 4. You produced 4 tracks in 1 week, and they were.
No, I did. It was over. It was like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, but
yeah.
still.
Yeah.
That is very impressive.
The introduction EP is what I called it. And when it came down to making a name for the label, he said, you need to use your name that you use, which is Women on Wax. And I said, well, I don't want people to think it's only women. He said, who gives a fuck what they think? Put out your music. He said, you need to stay consistent with that name. I said, okay. So that was that.
All right, but it is also like lifting, especially women and non-binary folks. So that was also like, but you wanted to release anyone from the start?
Yes. Anyone that was in a spot where they couldn't put out music and they needed to release to, get their music out. So this is when I met or knew of a gentleman in Detroit named Piranha Head. And Divinity is a vocalist in Detroit, but also my best friend. So I don't know how we got on the conversation about Piranha having music that no one would put out. She was at my house one day and I thought, oh, well, let me hear it. I was like, what? What is this? Oh yeah, we can put this out. And then she casually one day was like, well, I can sing, so maybe one day I'll sing on the record. And I was like, what? She can sing? And Piranha's like, yes, she can sing. We need to do something with her. And that's how we started putting out tracks, the three of us together.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. But the whole having energy to drive this project forth, because it's one thing to release your own music and to do it for the benefit of yourself, and it's another one to like build community and push people who no one wants to recognize.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's really tough work. So like, where did the energy to create this come from?
That's pretty much what I said about describing myself, determination.
Yeah.
I used resources to find out what needed to be done to push the music, I had the distribution going because of Moody Man setting me up with all the distribution companies. And being a woman DJ that was rare, people were willing to help. So a lot of people would offer their assistance and what I would need and as far as putting music out. But I also had a home life. And I also had a job at General Motors where I worked in the offices every day.
Yeah. Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
All right. That is a lot of work.
It's a lot. So it wasn't really that I could, DJ on a regular basis all the time. And I couldn't produce music all the time because I had a family.
Yeah.
And I had to work a regular job and come home and do what needed to be done to take care of the family. Then after that, I could possibly produce tracks. So everything slowed down for me. And at first it was a whirlwind, but then it slowed down.
Yeah, no.
Because of life.
No wonder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, the determination to drive the scene forward and shaping it. I think I'm super, I love that. I think it's so cool and impressive. And because that there's no support for this.
Mm-hmm.
And that you had no support, so there was, you had a few supporters, thankfully.
Yeah.
But knowing where they come from and putting in the work to find these people and to support and push and it's so cool. What is something of the what is one thing that you're most proud of when it comes to that journey, or a memory you have?
I had a residency at a place called the Pear Box Cafe, and I had a weekly rotation of artists. And one week I decided to pull together women I had met that were DJs, afraid to be out, didn't have any support. I pulled them together to do this party. And at the end of the night, I thanked everyone as usual, and I told them that the following week I was going to have this DJ, that DJ. I named the DJs. And they were going, no, what about the women on wax? We want the women on wax, because that's what I call the night. I call the night Women on Wax. And they're going, no. And I was like, oh, you want women on wax? And they're like, yeah. And that light clicked on my head that said, people want this. People want to hear female DJs. So we're going to run with it. And other females started calling me. Then you can find a person's name in the phone book and just call them. can you help me? Can you help me be a DJ? I heard that you were negotiating money from people. What do I need to do? I started mentoring on the phone. I started mentoring the people sending me letters. It picked up quickly. I'm happy that I actually pushed to get to that point.
Yeah.
To give these women an outlet. I'm proud to be that person that they looked up to because I was the fighter.
Yes.
I was the fighter, and I'm telling you, it was some fights. People were just ridiculous. Just asking for sexual favors. And I would just go, are you serious right now? Okay. And, okay, nope. Can't say that. Nope.
Yeah, gotta stay professional, even if they are
right.
fucking idiots.
Exactly.
Oh God.
Yep. Just couldn't. It was just so much negativity. It was unbelievable. But these women, I'm just happy to have helped them.
You also been supporting a lot of queer people, and this has been. Did the support for the queer scene also come around the same time? It was always very like obvious to you, or was it something that evolved over your own findings within who you are?
It's both. Because of who I am, there was the secret. Because you couldn't let people know who I was, and I've always had queer people in my life. And they're just so full of love. So why can't you love those kind of people? Some are my best friends to this day. So, just having that over my head that people don't approve of us, that was just a huge issue for me. It was an issue. But I didn't want to speak on it because I'd always gotten advice that I shouldn't.
From who?
People, friends, that I should not say that I was one of those people. Because then, do you want to be DJ Minx or not?
Oh.
Yeah, because if you speak on that, you may just be over.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no.
When are we? What time are we on when this was?
Let's see. Probably maybe 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
Maybe 7 years. What's this? 2024. Yeah, probably 7 years ago. Because I know that it's when I went to play in Russia. And they were like saying how I could be hurt if I spoke about it over there. Are you serious? You could never say anything about this. You can never let people know. I'm like, so nowhere, I would just never say anything. Just don't even worry about it. I won't say anything. And I just kept with that.
How did it feel though to not be able to like?
This is where a lot of the insecurity came from. Like I couldn't just be me. I couldn't just be. You know, that's hard. That's hard, and I'm sure there's people suffering from that today for one reason or another. Can't say who they actually are. Can't live the way they want to and feel they need to be living.
Yeah.
That's our code, actually.
And you decided not so long ago to come out yourself. What did that decision look like and the after effects from it?
That decision looked like my partner going, do it, it's okay. And constantly saying that to me. I'm like, well, one day I will. And I got a call from a gentleman at Spotify. And he asked, he told me they were interested in painting a mural of me on a building in Detroit.
Amazing.
And I said, wow. He said, yes, we are going to paint it on the Ruth Ellis Center. Ruth Ellis Center is a place where LGBTQ plus community folks go for what they have everything in this place. And I said, oh, you want to paint me on that building? He says, yes. I said, okay. Wow, that sounds nice. He says, yes, we're going to paint Kay Hand and a few other people, Grizz. And I said, wow, nice. What made you call me? Because right now I'm thinking, nobody knows about my lifestyle. He says, well, we're just looking at other LGBTQ plus artists to put up. I said, okay. Okay, so let me give you my manager's information, and we will take it from there. He said, good, we'll contact them and we'll send them all the information. I said, okay, good. Hung up from him, immediately called my manager and said, wait a minute. A man called me from Spotify and said that he wanted to put me on a mural of a building. He was like, whoa, and he's screaming. I'm like, wait, stop, whoa, down. It's a building for LGBTQ plus artists. He says, okay. So, I mean, it's okay. Yeah, nobody knows my business.
How did they know?
That's what I'm like. He says, I don't know. They probably saw, I don't know. They probably saw something. Mm-hmm. I said, I don't know, but I said the stress of not saying anything is definitely, I just want to speak on it. And he says, well, why don't you? He said, why don't you, just share it? Is that something you think you want to do? I said, yeah. And I said, because I definitely don't want to be on this building without, doing this first. He says, okay, leave it with us and we'll get it timed. So they communicated with Spotify to kind of time it so that they didn't do anything until I came out.
Yeah.
So after I came out, then the gates are open. You can do whatever you want to do. He said she needs to do this first, and afterwards we'll be in touch, and you can go from there. And I said, oh my gosh, I was so nervous. I decided to do it Pride Month, and they're all calling me like, what day do you want to do it? And just like, what day do you want to schedule it? And we're going to be awake. It's like, I picked the day. It's like, okay, California time, we're going to be up quite early. We don't care. When you do the post, we'll be awake and we'll be here to support you. And I said, okay. And my youngest daughter came to me and took my hand. She said, Mommy, it's okay. Live your truth. It's okay. We love you regardless. You are always going to be our queen. When she said that, oh my gosh, I could not, that was it for me. That was just,
I'm not crying.
No, my gosh. Oh. I did 100%. I could not believe that.
How old was she?
She was 18. She was 18.
Amazing support.
Yeah. And I said, okay, honey. Okay. She said, it's okay. You'll still be our queen. I said, okay. So I put up that post, and I just closed my laptop, and I cried, and I cried. I was like, I can't believe it. And my partner said, it's okay, honey. It's okay. It's going to be fine. I said, I don't know what's going to happen to my career. I don't know if I'm still going to be able to, DJ. But in like the first 2 minutes, I mean, if it wasn't a couple of hundred people already on that post loving it, and the comments flooded, and we love you so much. And then the LGBTQ community started chiming in. Oh my God, Mother, we love you. People that I did not know that knew me, and my phone started ringing, and people called and called. And I'm going, hello? I love you. People calling, crying. I've been wanting to come out. This young lady that I have been mentoring. I've been wanting to come out and you're helping me. Oh my God, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it today. And my friends was like, I'm proud of you. Text messages, Instagram messages, Messenger. It was just, the love just poured in. And I'm telling you, when my manager called and said, what did I tell you? My booking agent said, I love you so much. It's okay. Because he's in New York and he was like, I'm going to be up and ready as well. The support was overwhelming. And I'm telling you, my emotions were all over the place that day. So that, having done that, brought a different level to my DJing and music, because now it's the LGBTQ family of people supporting. And the promoters from these LGBTQ parties are just dying to book me at this point. And when the people that do movement, Paxahau, contacted my manager and said, we want to start doing pride parties and we want Minx to be the leader. I was done. I was done. They did their first pride party. The place was packed. They asked me who did I want to open for me, who did I want to play. I picked the DJs. That was it. In flight. And I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Wow. Feels like I've been watching a movie right now. And I'm like at the oh my God, amazing.
I know, it was something.
I am gonna leave it to that actually. Oh, I got goosebumps. Oh my God, there's something about your energy that is just so magical. I am completely like, I don't know, I feel like I've been shivering so much and I'm like tearing up, and I don't normally do that a lot, but it's just amazing. And I thank you so much for being so in the moment. I think this is also what it comes from, that you are just super in the moment. It's so nice to be around your energy.
Oh, well, thank you.
Really.
Really, thank you for having me.
It's amazing.
So appreciative.
I have a little game to light things up.
Okay.
And it's called This or That.
Okay.
This was it for Playful Podcast this week, but please follow, subscribe, and listen to our next episode. And if you want to have a say about future artists, or even ask your own question to one of our guests, follow us on Instagram and make sure to add your question when we lift our coming guests. Thank you so much for joining, and see you next week.